To keep yourself updated, subscribe to Indigo Learn and click the bell icon and download our app OneFin to start learning on the go.
Good evening, students. So the idea of today's session is to give you an overview of what is there for you if you choose ACCA as your career path. In fact, in the morning, I had a meeting with the ACCA India head, and we were discussing about the demand for ACCA. In fact, immediately after the meeting, we got at least 35 odd vacancies across the country, which is immediate filling requirement. And if you go to the overall ACCA global portal in India, it's with the search term ACCA in India, more than 5,000 openings which are there. Good evening, everyone. As I was mentioning earlier, the session today that we have is more to discuss about the opportunities, not just the course, how to write and all of that. That is one part of it. But another, an important part of it is what is there for us, what is in it for the student, right? How will students be able to, benefit out of this particular program, this particular course? That is what we will be discussing. And how many of you are already pursuing ACCA or, thinking of pursuing ACCA? If you can just raise your hand or type in the chat box. Okay, so Ganesh, if you can unmute and for each one of you, Ganesh. So if I may ask you, why are you pursuing ACCA, or you want to pursue ACCA? Either ways. Okay, Rajshekar Reddy, why would you want to pursue ACCA? The reason I'm asking is so I can guide you, or we can share information which would actually help you to decide.
Sir, firstly, I think that I want to pursue CA, but my family situations are not. I want to settle little more early.
Okay, so you want a career path which helps you settle early. Okay,
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah, right. Anybody else who wants to? Yeah, Rajshekar.
Yeah, sir, is ACCA help for me? I want to know.
Okay, so we'll definitely, as we discuss in the presentation, we will be able to give you some idea as to whether it will be helpful or not for you. Right. Anybody else who wants to share why are they pursuing or why they want to pursue ACCA? Okay, so somebody has sent a message saying, I want to pursue ACCA as a faster career growth. Okay, that is a a valid point. Again, thanks for sharing that. So this is something which I would like to share with you upfront. If you just filter out, if you go to so one thing is unlike a professional program in India like CA, when we talk about ACCA, the association itself, they play a very active role in getting employers on board, and they help in placing candidates. So the way ACCA works is there is one side connect with employers, they work with employers, and on the other side they also work with ALPs, like the learning partners, like Indigo Learn is a learning partner. Okay. So, in fact, as I was sharing with others who had joined earlier, in the morning, I had a meeting with ACCA India head, and they were talking about, the kind of requirements that are coming in. So, if you just filter out location India, across the country, across all the states, the number of employees you can see here, and there are about 5,100, listing overall. And, in India, there are 300 jobs which are currently available for taking. Okay. Now, why is there a demand for ACCA? I will tell you a few reasons, what I could understand from my meeting in the morning today. One is a lot of work of MNCs, especially based out of US, some MNCs based out of Middle East, European countries and all. We are setting up, units in India. They are setting up units in India. And companies like Amazon, companies like Google, all of them are setting up entities in India. Even Indian companies like Infosys and all, they provide services for companies outside India. Because you look at, they are sending huge centers in cities like Hyderabad, Bangalore, Mumbai, Pune, and all of that. And a lot of these companies also provide remote working facilities. Okay, so ecosystem, the way ecosystem is changing is that because of the resource, lack of resource in the respective countries, a lot of work is coming to India, right? And as far as accounting is concerned, so there is a lot of demand for CAs. So CAs are anyways absorbed. Now, because we are not getting enough CAs who are passing, right, the pass percentages are low, or people are not able to clear. They are also, looking for global CAs. Now, ACCA is a global certification equivalent. So like you have CA in India, you have ICAEW in the US, that is CA, and also ACCA, which is also a chartered association. That chartered means something, which can give a license and degree and certificate, with help of which you can practice, right? So there is a lot of demand, coming up for accountants, qualified accountants, who can take a process, who can own a process. In fact, because there is a shortage of articleship candidates, students who are pursuing ACCA are being taken as interns in CA firms also these days, right? So that is the context what I want to set here. Now, one thing I want to make it very clear, and I'll be very honest in this. Just because you have this degree, it's not a thing that somebody will come on a platter and they'll just say, okay, we'll take you as an employee, we'll hire you as an employee. That doesn't happen. A lot of places they promise that you clear this course and you'll get a job, but your effort is also needed. Your communication skills, you need to be presentable in the interview. You must crack the interview. We will connect you to the employers. We will take you to the employers. We will take you to the HR of employers. But then it is your role also to be able to crack the interview. For that, any grooming is needed, resume preparation is needed, helping you, improve your communication skills is needed. We will mentor you with that. We will give you, guidance on that. We will take you to the employers, but then you also have to perform in the interview. That is one thing I would like to highlight upfront, that, just because Suraj today said that, there are so many jobs available, and after qualification, it's your role also, because I'll tell you, even in courses like CA, people who get ranks, they don't get jobs sometimes because they are not able to communicate. So it's very important that you work on that aspect immediately. Okay. So coming back, for those of you who are, wondering what is this whole thing about ACCA, it's Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, right? So basically equivalent of CA, whatever you see in India, it's a global recognition, global certification, which is recognized across the globe. So this is something which has a global demand. Then what do you need to put in? First, if you talk about that, 2 years of investment broadly. Some of you may take more than 2 years, some of you may take less than 2 years. This is the cost involved depending on which level you are. Okay, so but then if you compare these today's date, if you want to do a graduation BCom from a decent college, that itself costs you more than 70,000-80,000 per year, right? So if you compare with that, it is still comparable. If you compare with CA, again, this is something which is comparable to a cost of doing maybe CA or any other professional course. In fact, cheaper than a lot of MBA. And what you need is full dedication and commitment to work towards yourself, to develop the skills, to get the knowledge. And then if you are willing to put in these three things, if you are willing to improve your skills, if you are willing to put in the effort, what you get is this return. What is the return? You get assured employment. There, you qualify as ACCA today. I'll tell you. Last week, I think 2 weeks back, we had request from Deloitte that they need some ACCA, either pursuing ACCA or qualified ACCA. Today again, we got some 4 or 5 openings in multiple places, which we will be putting out tomorrow or day after as an update. So if at all you are pursuing, or if at all you know someone who is pursuing ACCA or who has completed ACCA, please share it with them. That will help them to land up on a job, right? So you get employment, and salary levels are pretty decent. In and around about 6 to 10 lakhs. Also, again, depends on your experience as well. Then it's an international qualification, and you can also get additional qualification of through Oxford, Brookes, and London University if at all you wish to get those qualifications, right? So you put your investment, you definitely get better return on investment. Then, as I told you, this is a global course, so you have global opportunities waiting for you. You can work in the Middle East, and if you want, you can work in the UK. Middle East, one of the places where there's a lot of attraction for ACCA students also, because it's close by, and then there are a lot of companies who are willing to hire ACCA. And initial salary to begin with 6 to 10 lakhs per annum. Right. Then, because it's a global curriculum, one, it is, you learn international finance reporting standards, you learn, in a way where there is a lot of practical application. So this course is something, because I teach CA, I teach ACCA, I teach CPA, I teach CMA. This course has a different orientation in terms of practical application. So a lot of things that you learn, you need to apply. There's some questions I'll take towards the end. Okay, there's a lot of practical orientation. For example, they will give you a case-based scenario. Based on the case scenario, you'll have to give the solution. Okay, so it's not like you have to learn a lot of things, but you must be able to apply whatever you learn. Right, that is one more aspect, which you must be looking at. Now, another thing here is, if you look at the topics that you learn, if I compare a CA final student and an ACCA final student, both of them in terms of, let's say, IFRS, they would more or less have equal knowledge. But with ACCA, you'll have better application. Okay, so learning by heart somehow will not work in this type of a course. Okay, so that is one important thing where, and the more practically you learn, better employable you are. This I have already explained, the kind of jobs, you have at different location. And if any one of you who is pursuing ACCA, or you have completed ACCA, you're looking for a job, please feel to reach out to us, and we'll connect you to the respective employers. Now, another trend, you see the demand, the count, you see the growth, this chart, it is growing like, almost every year, 50-60% growth. That is what is the thing we are seeing, and that is why we have also started this offer, right? If it was not growing as an opportunity, we would not also have thought of starting ACCA, right? So that was one. And if at all you complete and you are interested to take BSc Honors in Applied Accounting from Oxford University, or MSc in Professional Accountancy from University of London, there is some some formalities needed, some fees to be paid, and then you can get these additional degrees, right? Now, an important thing that comes is how much I have to pay and how much will I get. How much I have to pay, how much will I get. Now, one thing I can assure you is, after you clear your ACCA program, once you become an ACCA member, you will be able to recover your investment in 6 months' time. That is an assurance. But then, yes, your work, your efforts, your dedication, your determination, both of these matter. Okay, it's not that I write the exam, I pass the exam, and then I will get it. It doesn't work that way. So what you need to also understand is, you pass, you attend interviews, you crack interviews, we'll support you in the entire process. We'll be there to support you. We'll be at back of you. With that investment, you will be able to get the returns that you expect. Now, coming to how much is the fee. This is the fee breakup broadly, without exemptions. Now, I'll tell you, a unique thing about ACCA is, if you apply through a learning partner, like let's say Indigo Learn, there are other learning partners also. So if you apply through a learning partner like us, you will get some discount in terms of exemption fee, right? You get some discount in terms of exemption fee. So in some cases, you'll get discount in terms with respect to this annual subscription fee and also. But these are on case-to-case basis. Depends on whether you are pursuing BCom, from which university you are pursuing BCom, then whether you are CA inter-qualified, whether you are CA final qualified. Based on different categories, we have a separate cost structure. So I would not go into detail of the workings, rather I'll take you to the summary part. Okay. Now, whenever we talk about fees, there are two parts. One is the fee payable to ACCA, means the body which conducts the exam and which gives you the certification. Then second part is the tuition fee that you would pay to a learning partner like us. Okay, including, like, we provide approved notes of Kaplan. Okay, authorized, licensed version. We don't, there are a lot of players who will give Xerox copies and they would try to reduce the cost, but we don't believe in that. So we're giving something which is approved by Kaplan, and that is what is available to you, which is licensed version. Okay, so You have two portions. One is the fee which is payable to ACCA, right? So now ACCA, is it mandatory to take, tuitions with ALP? Should I go through with ALP? The thing is, you can do a self-study also. I'm not saying no. Okay, but if you go through an ALP, two advantages. One, you get some exemptions, discounts on exemption fees, right? And we'll guide you in the right way as to what kind of exemptions you can claim. So in fact, one of my friend, after writing ACCA some few papers, he realized that he could have got exemptions in some papers because he had got pass marks in those respective papers. Okay, so because of that, it's important that you take help of a learning partner who will guide you as to what is the best exemption you can get, right? So what is the best exemptions you can get? That is what would help you. Okay, so you should not miss out on any exemption. That is the reason why I'm saying. Now, if you go directly, you have to pay 2.15. If you go through an ALP, you have to pay 1.65 if you are a BCom. And if you are a BCom, you'll have to write 9 papers. So you'll have to write level 2 and level 3. If you pay directly the fee, it's 2.15 lakhs. If you go through us, it is 1.65 lakhs. Similarly, if you are CA Inter qualified, you have to write 8 papers to get the qualification. Directly 2.11, with us 1.57. Final 2.04, 1.1. So now if you see, fee payable to ACCA more or less is in the same range here. Okay. But if you go through an ALP, there's a lot of variation, like 1.65, 1.57, 1.1. So you actually save a good amount of money if you go through an ALP. Now, apart from this, for the subjects that you take classes for, approximate tuition fee is 1 lakh for a BCom guy or a girl, 1 lakh for CA Inter, and about 60,000 for someone who has cleared CA Final, right? So if you go through ALP, this is the broad cost that you will have to incur if you, depending on whether you are at CA Final level or CA Intermediate level or a BCom graduate. Okay, so depending on that, so you can choose and you can pursue the course. Now, a lot of students have this question: sir, should I wait for qualification? Me passing CA Final. After I pass CA Final, I will do, because I'll save money. Okay, that is one thing which a lot of students do have, right? But one thing that you have to understand is the saving that you'll do here would be around 70,000-80,000. I don't deny that. But then if you do along with CA Inter, if at all you have decided to do, you'll actually complete it faster. And I'll tell you, whenever there is an interview between two candidates, if one has 1 degree, another one has 2 degrees, he definitely has an edge. In fact, this I realized when I wrote, CAT exams for IIMs. If I have, because I was pursuing CA and I got good marks in CA Foundation and CA Inter, I had an edge over other applicants. So it always becomes an added advantage for you. By the time your CA Final done, ACCA also is done. Then it's really icing on the cake. That 50,000-60,000 of difference you'll be able to recover very quickly. Okay. So because after CA Final, then once a qualification is there, as I'm a chartered accountant, I don't want to learn more courses and all of that. Those things will also follow up. Right. Now, another question: how difficult it is when we compare to Indian CA? Subjects are similar. Okay, we have on a separate videos on what is the course content and all of that. But level of difficulty is slightly lesser in terms of volume of content. But then it has to be practical oriented. There it becomes slightly tricky. But then with right kind of conceptual clarity, with right kind of coaching, you will be able to handle this. Exams, ACCA does 4 times a year. ICA is 2 times a year. Okay. One big advantage when you compare with ICI and ACCA is here you always have to write those 4 papers in a group. ACCA you can take up 1 paper at a time. That reduces the burden. When you can write 1 paper at a time, it actually reduces a burden from your head as to you have to clear all the 4 papers. So take 1 paper, 2 papers, depending on your level of comfort. Okay. ACCA is a computer-based exam. ICA is it's only written. So you also get advantage in ACCA here as to with respect to computations and written submissions and all of that. A lot of ACCA exams are based on practical application. So you have questions which are case-based scenarios. ICI also has it, but then it is more of theory and limited to what is given in the material. ACCA is slightly broader. Okay. Now someone said that they wanted to do it because they have to start their career faster, settle down faster. Now, how does it work? Okay. Now, depending on which level you are, okay, if you are, for example, a BCom or a CA Inter qualified, you get 4 to 5 exemptions. Out of the papers that are available, you get 4 to 5 exemptions. So you need to write only balance papers. Okay. If you are a CA final, you have 9 exemptions, you need to write only 4 papers. Okay. If you are 10+2, you will have to write all the papers. So ideal time, most likely for most of the students, is to start somewhere when they are pursuing graduation, or if they have completed CA Inter. Based on that, you will get exemptions, and that will speed up your time to complete the course. So normally in 18 to 24 months, on an average, you would be able to complete the course. And one good thing is, as when you're pursuing ACCA also, we can place you as interns in a lot of companies. Okay, so you would start earning actually as you pursue the program. Now, coming to exemptions, we have a separate video which in detail we have explained the exemption. So if you are, let's say, I'll cover the cases. If you are pursuing BCom, you get exemptions from business technology, management accounting, financial accounting, and taxation, and also law. If you are CA Inter plus, if you have completed BCom, again, you get all these exemptions plus one additional exemption in audit, law, and tax. If you're CA Intermediate, you get exemptions in all these 4, and you get exemption in tax. This is a total of 5 exemptions. If you're CA Final, you get all exemptions in knowledge level and skill level. Okay, so that way you can speed up your progression. Then pass percentage, if you see on an average, it has been like 40, 50, 60% in that range, right? So because it has a better pass percentage, passing also is, I'm not saying it is easier, but slightly better, or significantly better than CA class results. Then the flexibility, right? I will write this paper at a time, one paper at a time. I will not write all the 4 or 5 papers. So that is where it becomes really helpful. You can write exams in any of the windows, March, June, October, and December. These are the subjects. Again, we have separate videos discussing each subject, the overall course in detail. Just to give you a brief, you have business. This is more of introduction to business. Management accounting, a lot of things related to costing and management accounting. Financial accounting, your accounting part. Then corporate and business law, performance management, taxation. Performance management has more to do with, again, related to costing back. Taxation, financial reporting, auditing, and financial management. Now, depending on which level you come from, you will get exemptions in level 1 and you will get exemptions in level 2. In level 3, there will be no exemptions. Mandatory, strategic business leader and strategic business reporting. So whatever you learn in level 1 and level 2, you will have to implement there with advanced concepts. And you can choose any of these, out of any of these 4 papers, any 2 paper, in the area of your interest. Right, then coming to what we have to offer, we are silver learning partner with ACCA. So we have live classes by a lot of faculties who have been with us, who have been teaching ACCA, who have been teaching CIMA, who have been teaching CA. So they have come from diverse experience and who will actually explain you the concepts. We have live classes, revision sessions. We'll give you the recorded backup, and we have unlimited views. You can watch any number of times. We give you official ebooks licensed version of Kaplan. Then we have internal test and mock exam. We keep on coming up with updates and webinar. We'll help you in query resolution and 100% placement assistance. Right, a full package with us where you can have a look at the classes and take a decision. If at all you are thinking of pursuing ACCA, I suggest you subscribe to our channel and watch a few of our videos, the way we teach, how much you're able to understand. And we'll also back it up with a lot of animated content, which we already have, that will also be provided to you. Right, so that's what we have to offer for you. Now, two questions we had got in the morning. One was, can I do ACCA and practice in India? Okay, that is one question which we had received in the survey. You can pursue ACCA, but you cannot practice in India for Indian companies. For example, you cannot sign the balance sheet of Indian companies. For that, you have to be chartered accountant, being a member of ICAI. That's first thing. Okay. Now, Can I sign balance sheets of UK? Yep, definitely. We can sign balance sheets of UK. You can set up, you can be the member, and you can audit the UK related forms. Okay, there was one question what they had. Then one more by Adarsh. ICI signed memorandum of understanding with ICAEW, and they are more or less similar. ACCA have scope in future. See, ACCA is in touch with, they keep on engaging with ICI. They recently attended the World Congress of Accountants also, right? Will they not have? It depends on the way discussions go ahead. But then, see, what is this MOU? If you look at ICAEW MOU, what is the MOU? They say, okay, based on some conditions, you'll have to write a couple of papers here, couple of papers there, and then you can take the membership of the other institute. So here also, if you see, if you complete CA final, level 1, level 2 are fully exempt. If you complete CA final, right? Means what? You just need to write 4 papers. Okay. So though there is not an official MOU, ACCA is giving you an advantage. ACCA recognizes that, okay, if you have completed CA inter or CA final, you have some knowledge. But then these papers are important because you need to be, able to apply whatever you have learned in practical scenarios. You must have a different approach to solving business problems. Okay. Now, see, as in more technology evolves, if you're just an accountant, just passing accounting entries, that is not sufficient. You must be problem solvers for the business. You must be business finance partners. Okay. That is what the world is looking at. We don't need someone who is passing, will just say, debit this and credit that, this entry, that entry, and all of that. Because all of these will be, it's already taken over by computers. Okay. Somebody, when you buy something at a supermarket, they scan something, entries are already passed. We need someone who can look at the controls. We need someone who can do the analysis. We need someone who can do the budgeting. We need someone who can help in decision taking. We need someone who can take investment decisions, right? All of these things would come as a package. Now, if you ask me, sir, can a CA do it? Yes, they can do it. But then I'll tell you my own experience. Once I completed the management accountancy from CIMA UK, again, the approach to looking at questions, the approach to looking at business problems has changed drastically. Okay. It's no longer like, learning some things here, learning something there, and then you're just going to the exams and passing it. It is a really, really, different thing for me as far as experience is concerned. Okay. So, and also, a lot of my friends who have completed ACCA have, told similar things about this program as well.
Yeah, Suraj, I'm there. Sorry for the delay.
No worries. Sorry, I missed the message. I didn't see the message. So we have Pawan from ACCA, who looks after, our Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. We work closely with him, and so he works with.
Hi everyone.
ALP. So he's there. Pawan, maybe you can address them. I know you had a very tight day meeting a lot of colleges and employers.
No issues. Future members and upcoming members are very much prayer for us. If they have any questions, they can ask me. I'm ready to answer their questions. Even can read out those questions. Yes.
Yeah. So because whatever I had to share, I have shared. Students, if you have any specific question to Pawan, you can write it out in the chat box. And then, he would be more than happy to address that. So one question there was, I tried to answer it briefly, but maybe they can also throw a light on it.
Sure.
Do you think there would, like MOU with ICAI? Some students have this question coming up. So, are we, is there anything that will happen, or without MOU also you are giving good benefits to them? If you can just highlight that.
Okay. Actually, ICAI, doesn't have any MOU in India, but we have an MOU with CMA, Indian CMA, ICWAI.
Okay. So you ICMA. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. CMA, Indian CMA. Now it is CMA, right? Earlier it was ICWAI. We have an MOU with CMA house. We don't have anything with ICAI. Still, because the rigor of the qualification of ICAI is very, very, very good across the country. That's why what we have done, we ourselves have taken an initiative to promote this qualification to qualified CAs.
Yes.
Once if they complete entire qualification, entire CA qualification, they'll get 9-paper exemption. They need to write only 4 papers, that 2 professional level papers. we are offering it a very discounted price to them. If they directly go and join in the ACCA, directly with the ACCA platform, they need to shell out approximate 1,20,000 rupees. But if they join through IndigoLearn, it will be almost 70% discounted.
Yeah. So that's
the advantage what IndigoLearn has got. Even if somebody is partially qualified, when I say partially qualified IPCC and even qualified in some of the papers in final groups, paper to paper marking we do, and on that basis we award 6 to 7 exemptions. If somebody is IPCC qualified and BCom qualified, they'll get 6 paper exemption. If they have even qualified few of the papers in final levels, okay, we don't see whether you have cleared your group or not. We see paper to paper marking, and on that basis we'll award you the exemptions. There you'll get 7 papers exemption. Even these papers also discounted very hugely for IndigoLearn students. Approximate 70 to 75% discount you'll get if you join through IndigoLearn.
Okay, thanks. A couple of more questions, Pawan.
Sure.
So if a person is pursuing any other course, for example, let us say CA, CMA, some other course they are pursuing,
okay,
when it is better to choose other courses, as like, should they do after completing the course, or should they drop the course, or should they shift to other course, like let's say CA? So should they continue to do CA, or they should also start doing ACCA if they want to do ACCA?
Parallelly, they can pursue the qualification. A small comparison I do, sorry for that. Indian professional qualification, it takes minimum 5 years to complete. Rare cases, okay, 2 to 3 years, but average, if you see, 5 years it will take to complete. But in the ACCA, best of the best scenarios, it will take 1.5 years. Minimum scenario, it will take 3 years.
Yeah. So that is the
parallelly you can complete the qualification, because the kind of subject you are studying in Indian qualification and ACCA is more or less the same. Where in ACCA you'll more rigorously go through about international laws and international rules and regulations. In Indian CA you seriously pursue Indias. That's the only difference. And in Indian qualification you don't have much management papers. Even in ACCA we have management paper. One more biggest case study also we have, that is SBL, Strategic Business Leader. This is this Strategic Business Leader is a purely management case study. This examination is of 4 hours and 1 question, single question, which you need to answer it in 4 hours.
Single question in 4 hours. Okay. So
yeah, it's a case study kind of a question. You need to answer it in 4 hours. That's how we work with. That's why we suggest, if any Indian professional part qualified pursuing qualification, anyone can pursue ACCA. There is no such certain stringent guidelines that you have to do this only. And we are very much flexible. Why I'm saying this? We are very much flexible. At a time you can write 1 question. At a time you can write 1 examination, and we conduct examinations 4 times a year.
Correct.
Yeah, that is June.
One more question that has come is difference between ACCA and ICAEW.
CMA, they are talking about ICAEW.
No. ICAEW, England and Wales, Chartered Accountants of England and Wales, and ACCA.
We both are at par with, because they are also an act of England and Wales, and we are also act of England and Wales Parliament. We both are at par with. But what is the edge for ACCA is flexibility.
Yes,
flexibility, and we have presence in 182 countries, and most of them they recognize us.
Right.
And if you are in UK, if you have taken practitionering license, you can practice it anywhere across the globe. In India, we don't have any chapter to give practicing license, but if you have got a practicing license with the UK office, you can work with corporates also.
Right. So
I think one of the student, he has posted some questions. Can you please read out for me?
That's what I'm reading out. So one more question is there. Normally after BCom we get 4 exemption. It depends, Tarun. You get 4, 5 exemptions.
But after BCom, it's only 4 paper exemption. Across India, it's the same rule. After completing the graduation BCom, they'll get 4 paper exemption.
Yeah, but I think while pursuing, they get 1 more exemption. It's
only in Usmania University. If they are pursuing graduation from Usmania University, they'll get 5 papers. If it is other universities, we need to check which university they are pursuing and the kind of agreement what we have with the university. On that basis only they'll get. Yeah. Otherwise, only completed qualification will be awarded 4 papers.
Yeah, so one question is, MBA plus ACCA colleges are offering 9 paper exemption. Is it good or bad?
I'll tell you one thing. if you are constructing a house, will you start with directly with the walls or the foundation?
So I think
we have to do it from the foundation. Okay, the kind of agreement what we have with the colleges, I'm not denying it. It's that it is not a good, but still we suggest you to go through the all 9 papers which you have got exempted, because every paper is an interlinked. If you seriously doesn't go through those papers, and if you doesn't get that basic fundamental knowledge, I don't think you will be able to make it to the next level.
So actually, students, I'll just add one more thing. So even if you get exemptions, so for example, if you get exemption at knowledge level, right? Even then we provide bridge course and additional content for you to brush up the topics. Because for example, if you are doing, if you skip performance management, now without performance management, how will you write advanced performance management? So that becomes a challenge. Without financial reporting, how will you do strategic business reporting? So if you come with us, even if you're doing, let's say, only SBR, if you're qualified CA final, we will give you some bridge course with related to FR that will help you to pass the exam. Okay. Then one more thing, okay, I think I have to answer that. ACCA will get jobs only in other countries. No, ACCA get job in India. I have my friends, Pawan has been sending requirements. Today morning I asked, and I got at least 5-6 requirements in India itself. So you'll get job opportunities in India also. It is nothing like that. Right. Then one thing is, in UK and Ireland, I didn't understand your question, Bhuvan. Can you just rephrase the question? ACCA scope in UK, though I think that the base countries will have a good scope. So I think he needs to rephrase the question. Difference between IFRS, Ind AS, AS, US GAAP. I think Bhuvan, you have asked this question at forums also. I'll have a look at it and I'll respond to you. Basically, IFRS is globally followed. US GAAP is only in the United States. Based on IFRS, we have Ind AS in India. Okay. So CMA final, CA final, you learn Ind AS. Ind AS is 99% related to IFRS. US GAAP is completely different, which you will learn in only applicable to US based country. But if you learn IFRS, globally, you will be able to work in multiple different countries.
I can say across globe, we have 197 countries. In that, 188 countries follows IFRS. Only 9 countries, they follow US GAAP. Then you can understand where the huge requirement is.
So, Krish, you could not join on time. We keep on conducting sessions. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can reach out to our team. You can schedule a callback request. The counselor will call you. They will explain you whatever you have missed it. And we'll also be uploading these webinars and all also. That also you can have a look at it. Thank you. I think we have addressed all the questions. Right. So that's it, guys. So thanks for joining in. Thanks, Pawan, taking time out of your hectic schedule. I hope all the meetings are done, or we are still left with something.
We have left with one more meeting. Once this is done, I have taken a break from that meeting and I have joined this session.
Okay. Thanks.
Sorry for the delay. Sorry for that.
No worries. I think
because it's a student session, I was interacting with around 250 students face to face. There it got delayed.
Okay. Great. Chalo, thanks a lot. Okay, one last question, Pawan, please answer this. After my final of CMA India, I am aspiring to do masters in UK or Ireland. Will ACCA with masters help me in PR easily? Very complicated question.
Yep. Once if you complete entire 13 papers of ACCA, when I say 13 papers, even you are a CMA qualified, you'll get 7 papers exemption. Once you complete rest of 8 papers, you can claim MSc from University of London, or even you can claim MBA from Oxford Brookes University. Both are recognized at par with England and entire European Union, and even you can apply for PR because it's a full-time degree. What they are awarding. Even you can attend the convocation also at 3 centers. One is Dubai, one is Singapore, and other one is main campus.
So what Pawan is mentioning is this added advantage with ACCA, what I had been explaining some time back, BSc Honours in Applied Accounting and MSc in Professional Accountancy from University of London. And the other one is from Oxford Brookes University.
MBA
Right.
from Oxford Brookes University.
Yeah.
Only you need to submit a thesis and dissertation report, and for a small registration fee, because every university has got its fee structure. For ACCA students, again, it is discounted at a very huge. Once you pay that fee and submit your thesis and dissertation report, you will be awarded a MSc or MBA, whichever course you choose, and you can go for it.
So can't we work in foreign countries with ICA course? Yes, you can work. We are not saying no. But then if you have, let's say, CA plus ACCA, that gives you an immense advantage. Okay.
Suraj, may I?
Yeah, please.
With ICA, Indian CA, ICA, it is accepted in 8+ countries. They have very good job opportunities in 8+ countries. But if you move out of these 8+ countries, they need to even pursue some of the local qualifications, either diploma IFRS or certificate IFRS, because you will be learning here Ind AS. Ind AS is only 30% of IFRS. It's not full. It is not full IFRS what you are going to learn. It's a blended of Indian and international. Even if you are qualified CA, you need to pursue DIP IFRS, diploma in IFRS or certificate in IFRS. That's why what we suggest to Indian CAs, please go for ACCA, because you will get an add-on qualification. You can get an add-on master's degree, and it will give you a lot more into your career.
Oh, thanks a lot for that. Yeah. Okay, so thanks a lot, guys, and it has been nice interacting with all of you. If you have any more queries, you can fill the callback request form on our website, subscribe to our channel, sign up on our website, and any queries we have, we'll be more than happy to help you. Thanks a lot, Pawan, and thanks a lot, Sudha also.
Thank you, Suresh. Thank you, Indigo team. Thank you all.